What's up, everybody? The Penguin has come to an end, and boy, was it a good one. But before we get into the finale, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on my video later this week, breaking down how this is going to lead into the Batman Part 2. But enough from me, let's get into the finale. The final episode of the series opened with Francis Cobb's backstory induced by Julian Rush's red light therapy. This took place after Oz locked his brothers in the tunnels and left them for dead, and now he's been hanging around Rex Calabrese more often. Rex pays his mom a visit, wanting to pay for Jack and Benny's funeral, but she doesn't want his help, and she doesn't want anything to do with Oz, who she calls the devil. It was revealed that she knew, since the police found the boys' bodies, that her boy Oswald was responsible, and she's taken it as far as asking Rex to take care of Oz. Rex, being the gangster he was, tells her he'll do it, but also that a boy like Oz could have a bright future in his field of expertise. That meeting took place just before this part of the flashback, which we actually saw last week when Oz and his ma get all dressed up to go out to Monroe's. At the club, with the thought of Oz building a great empire based on his devotion to her, she folds when she sees her son's ambition, albeit some very sinister ambition, and calls the hit off. Then back in the present, Vic's got the boys rallying to Crown Point, but that quickly falls apart. The other gangs aren't happy that Oz is putting them in this much danger so early into their deal. Vic tries to get the people going, but he's just too low on the totem pole to have any effect on the bosses. He still goes into Crown Point by himself, looking for Oz, and he runs into Zeke, getting caught up on what has happened. Oz, on the other hand, is woken up by Julian Rush as he and Ma are tied up at Monroe's, where he almost spent his final night. Sophia tells a story about birds, but what she's really doing is letting Oz know that she knows everything. She ends up breaking both members of the Cobb family, getting Francis to snap at Oswald. Sophia's not stopping there, though, as she wants a Pinky for Pinky. Or Oz can finally tell the truth and admit to his mother that he killed his brothers. Oz keeps up his game, though, until Frances fully snaps after almost getting her pinky chopped off and admits she knows. In her rage, she stabs Oz, and after doing so, she sees a young Oswald, only to drop to the floor from a stroke shortly after, and Oz hulks out when he sees her fall, even after what she said. He gets her to the hospital and swipes a phone to get a hold of Vic before heading to a supply room to staple himself back together. Once Vic gets there, he covers for his ma, or he's still living in his own delusion, saying Sophia stabbed him and did something to his mom. It almost felt like he was still in shock from what she said to him, and now Vic's the one who's got the fire lit underneath him, with Oz being consumed by his past and his mother. While all that's going on, the other gangs made their way over to the Falcone estate to meet with Sophia. She's leaving Gotham, and so she's giving away the keys to the city in a sense. Whoever gets to Oz first gets her empire. It's that simple. But what she doesn't know is that Link, one of Zsao's guys, is still Team Penguin. He gives Vic a call, and for a second I thought this was going to be a setup for a double cross, but they've got a plan. Oz pays Councilman Haiti another visit, giving him the opportunity to get a career boost with the story of a lifetime, a story that, in a sense, is true with some blurred details. Oz basically subs Sal and Sophia into his place in this story, the story of the show, giving Haiti the chance to take Sophia down. Basically, he's back on his game before he's picked up by Link outside City Hall. Sophia's back on her game too, though, her crazy game, as she packs her final things before she leaves. She gets a call that Zsao and the Triad have Oz, solidifying the end of her time in Gotham and the existence of the Falcone estate as she sparks up the triple sig to burn the mansion down. That'll come back to bite her, though, considering what Oz told Haiti. Anyway, she gets to the airport and it seems like she's finally going to get her victory over Oz, but Link, knowing he has a future working for Oz, betrays Zsao, and it's Sophia who ends up losing once again as she's the only one left standing who isn't Team Penguin. Oz takes her on a drive for old time's sake and takes her down to the Gotham River. He acts like he's gonna kill her and feed her to the fishes, but he dips out of there while she's turned around, leaving her for the GCPD. On that note, I'm going to dive into this more later in the week, but Chief Bach's involvement in this arrest could very well lead to the next step of Jim Gordon's ascension in the GCPD in the Batman Epic Crime Saga. Back to the finale though, Oz goes off to celebrate with his ma as he's finally come through on his promises, but she's just stuck in a soulless stare. The doctor tells him she had her stroke and everything he went through is ruined. He finally got to the top, finally got to a spot where he can give her anything and she'll never know. Then comes one of the greatest tragedies in the history of television as Vic and Oz share an incredible moment bonding over their families and what they've lost. Vic has changed so much since he got caught jacking Penguin's tires, and he credits it to the way Oz runs things, even going as far as to say that Oz is family to him now, or at least like it, which is his biggest and final mistake. Or is it? That's another one we're going to talk about later in the week, thinking about the future of this character in the Batman Epic Crime Saga, if there is one. In fact, the rest of this episode is going to be huge for that future, at least I think, as we see Sophia back in Arkham. Julian's back there too, as he brings her a letter from none other than her half-sister, Selina Kyle. That letter seemed to reignite some hope in Sophia, or some of that fight, and I hope to see that pay off on the big screen. The show came to an end with Oz pulling up to the hotel he's bought in his new car, his new purple car, to go see his ma. He's got her trapped in the penthouse, looking out into the city, just like he promised, but she sheds a tear when he comes into the room because it wasn't worth it at the end of the day. All the years of knowing and not saying anything simply broke her. Oz is a broken man too, though, as he leaves his ma only to go downstairs in the penthouse and join his ma again, which is just Eve with a wig on in her dress from that night. But Eve's back now, oddly still helping this grown boy, knowing what she knows about him and Carmine and everything they did as the bat signal lights up the Gotham skies. That was, without a doubt, one of the best finales I've ever seen. Deirdre O'Connell shined as Frances, but I just can't get enough of Colin Farrell and his sick, twisted portrayal of the Penguin, and Kristen Milotti as Sophia Falcone, the best portrayal of the character so far. It's the definition of must-watch TV, and I'm probably going to be rewatching this show once a month. And so that'll do it for my breakdowns of the Penguin. Like I said, stay tuned for a video about its connections to the Batman Part 2, and you can expect that around Wednesday during this week. But this show legit went 8 for 8, and Lauren LeFranc, Matt Reeves, and all the creatives involved deserve every award in the book after putting on this masterclass of how to tell the tale of a villain properly. Sony, I'm looking at you. Let me know what you thought about the finale and the show, though, down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.